Wendy is in a sober house, y'all. All right, let's see what's going on. Let's see what the tea is. Thank you for listening and watching. I'm Lamarr Townsend. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel if you're new. Hit that bell as many times as you need to next to that subscribe button so that you get a notification whenever I go live or upload a new video. And also, if you would like your own personal, private, confidential psychic tarot reading from me or an astrology birth chart reading from me, I am an astrologer as well as a psychic tarot reader, then check out my website, lamarrtownsendtarot.com. Lamarr Townsend Tarot, spelled just like my YouTube name, all right? And also make sure you check out my Instagram at Lamarr Townsend and my Facebook page, Lamarr Townsend Tarot. So, Wendy Williams is in a sober house. She's in rehab, you guys, and I just have a few questions, a really quick reading here. I don't want it to be too long, but I do have a few questions I want to ask about Wendy. I don't have any written down. I'm just going to kind of go off the top of my head. One of the questions I want to ask is what's going on with Wendy right now as we speak? One of the other questions I want to ask is what is the future of Wendy? What's the future for Wendy moving forward? And maybe the third one I just thought of is what's the future of the Wendy Williams Show? All right, so let's get into the tea really quickly. And remember, if you would like your own personal reading from me, then make sure you check out my website, lamarrtownsendtarot.com. I think I'm going to pull a card, an angel card, at the end of the reading for Wendy. But let's just get into the tea right now, you guys. Make sure you guys subscribe, hit that bell, and let's see what's going on with Wendy right now. What's going on with Wendy? What's going on with Wendy? It's funny. I feel like she has and this is like a funny side note, I feel like she has a wig for the sober house. Like, I feel like she might come out, like, you know, as a funny way of, you know, looking back at, you know, oh, I was in a sober house. She might be like, oh, I have my own sober house wig or something like that. Like, I feel like she has her own wig specifically for being in the house. Oh, Wendy. Alright, what's going on with Wendy, you guys? It feels like it's long, but it feels like she kind of ties it up in a bun as well. I feel like she likes to read a lot. I'm just seeing what I pick up energetically, psychically, intuitively, clairvoyantly. I feel like she likes to read a lot. She kind of likes to spend time alone. I see her painting her nails. Interesting. What's going on with Wendy? Yeah. I feel like she's been in there for a while. I would say, you know, a couple months. I don't know why I see 4 or 5 months. Alright. Could be the stint of her stay is 4 or 5 months, but I remember watching the video and it was saying how, you know, she said something about beyond, right? So this is the Judgment card. So I feel like whatever, when it comes to the sober house situation, I feel like it really wasn't her call. There was a higher, it was a higher calling. It was someone above her, higher authorities, higher representatives, management, you know, maybe the owner of her TV show kind of ordered this. But I also feel like there's something about complaints from management or from coworkers. It's like, yes, send her, please, you know, she needs it. Something like that. Like complaints from workers, you know, on the set, you know, on the TV show itself. I feel like it was a man that ordered this. I think Kelvin, her husband, is Virgo, although Virgos can sometimes come out as the swords because that's that Mercury energy. I think this is, you know, some type of man that ordered this, that is overseeing this stint, this stay. It's watching her very closely. So this could also be her sober coach. I don't know if her sober coach is male or female. I always say don't, you know, be so gender specific with the cards. It's all about energy to me. 2 of Wands here. There's something about this situation that's reverting Wendy back to her younger self, her childhood issues. think her mother's kind of broken up. Like, her mother is a bit confused about what's going on. Her mother, Wendy's mother is like, what is going on with my daughter? What's going on with my child? I feel like Wendy might be keeping her out of the loop with a lot of things. I think it's due to shame, to be honest, Wendy. The Five of Wands. Something about withdrawals that could be really triggering right now. Alright, Wendy, be careful with sneaking drinks in or something like that. I think there's something about releasing this information about you being in a sober house that has kind of, it's like, oh gosh, now the secret's out there. Like, and I was the one that, spilled the secret, spilled the tea. It's like, what did I do? Look at the guy, look at the main space in this picture, y'all. That's like literally how I see Wendy after she spilled the tea about her being in a sober house. And it's like she immediately wants to run back to the bottle, or wants to run back to the pills, wants to run back to whatever it is that got her where she is in the first place. So Wendy, stay strong, all right? I get the Ace of Wands here. You are getting a lot of press. A lot of press, money. I think there's something about money here. And I'm seeing something about that foundation. The foundation. Do you have a foundation for children too, as well? Okay. Knight of Swords. Oh, there's something where I feel like your husband may be in control at this time, and I don't know necessarily what I mean by that. I don't know if he's in control of the Wendy Show. I guess we'll get into that, here in a bit, or if he's in control of your schedule or something like that. But he kind of has things tightly in control, tightly under rein. But I feel like there's something about you, Wendy, where you're trying to actually get away from that energy of your husband. I think you're trying to get away. In some way, shape, or form. Like, you're just trying to... And you're trying to get away safely, too. Without too much destruction, self-destruction. Alright. It's almost like Kelvin is the puppet master, the handler that keeps you tightly wound up. So that you don't break too much. It's actually kind of, a little bit creepy. But then it's like, because he has this kind of Jekyll Hyde thing where it's like he doesn't want you to break fully, but every now and then he likes to see you crack a bit, So, this could be a situation where Kelvin, the puppet master, let things get a little bit too far. And I think I mentioned that in my previous reading about you, Wendy. To be honest, I try not to read too much on Wendy because I like most of the celebrities I read on. When it comes to this YouTube thing. But, I don't know. For years I didn't read on you, Wendy, but it's just, you're just out there now, so. I do feel like there's going to be something where, obviously they're going to try to tie in this whole situation, into the show where it's not, so much of a drastic, shocking thing every time now that we see Wendy in the chair. It's like, oh my gosh, you're living in a sober house. Like they're gonna find a way to make us laugh about it. And kind of lose the tension about it. And it's like, oh, okay, like it's like that kind of thing. You know how the Wendy Show can be. But at the same time, there's just going to be more questions that aren't answered. And I think, Wendy, you're going to act like you're unbothered by it. But I think it's not until your money or I'm not going to say is, I'm going to wish for the best. Your money start to be affected is when you start to kind of crack. And maybe start to fess up a little bit more. Or maybe things just start to burst at the seams. Maybe, you can't control, what starts to come out. So I don't know. That's what I'm seeing, Wendy. But I think all of this is definitely salvageable. I just think it's about what is the best path for you right now. And speaking of which, I want to know, what is the future? What's the future? What's the future for you look like, Wendy? All right. after revealing that you live in a sober house. And, I applaud you for that. That is, I'm so proud that you revealed that truth. I'm sure on some level that lifted a lot of weight off of your shoulders. What is coming up? What's in the future for Wendy Williams? What's in the future for Wendy? Make sure you guys subscribe, and if you want your own reading, once again, LamarrTownsendTarot.com. What's going on with Wendy? What's in the future for Wendy? What's up in the future for Wendy? What's coming in the future for Wendy? Nine of Swords in the past. Nine of Cups. I think you're gonna find a way to get back to being balanced, get back to being, equilibrium. Get your equilibrium back when it comes to your sanity, your mental health. So that's good. Yeah, I think you're gonna find your equilibrium. I think there's always gonna be something about trigger, and it's interesting. You see that the man with the gun in the background, and often, PTSD is often associated with, being in the military, working with guns, things like that. So there is maybe a PTSD element here at Wendy, where you are easily triggered in some way. So I think that's your biggest thing. You need to work on those triggers. You need to work on that healing. And gaining your strength, and not just your strength in terms of your physical strength, which I think is also a concern. I think your inner strength, your mental strength. All right. I think that's important for you. Could we see Wendy dating someone younger? Maybe if, things with her and Kelvin, start to falter. But there's something where I think Kelvin doesn't want to lose Wendy either in some way. I think Wendy is a gateway to other things for Kelvin. But I think, maybe if he loses Wendy, then he may lose that access to those things. But there is something, Wendy, where love is coming up more and more, and specifically love and money. So I don't know what's going on with love, with marriage here, but there's something about money being stifled, money being taken out, money, and it's like, it's interesting because this guy's doing something with money over here, but the woman here in this picture is so enthralled by the guy that she's not paying attention to what's going on behind her. So Wendy, I know you're going through a lot right now, but I just hope that you still, gain a hold of, business at the home front, all right? When it comes to money, all right? Money. The world, I do think Wendy is, her main focus is gaining the love, the confidence of the world back. I think it's a slow road to get there. All right, Wendy, for Wendy, gaining the trust of the world, but money. Money. With that confidence, with that trust comes money for Wendy. It's interesting. You guys know that Wendy loves purple. Look at the beautiful purple in this picture, you guys. So pretty. Or it could be pink for some of you. I'm not really sure. I get the Two of Wands here. That inner child coming out once again for Wendy. I think Wendy is really shocked by how fast things have changed for her. All right. And I just see something with money shifting for you, Wendy. Money starting to shift. How you make money, the partnerships, the sponsors, are going to start to shift. All right. Especially after this announcement of you saying you live in a sober house. So, I think there is going to be something where Wendy, because I see this as like the company, for some reason I see this as the company that owns the Wendy Williams TV show. I don't really know why. This is Wendy. Alright. And then I just see conflict between Wendy Williams, the star, the performer, right? And I just hear negotiations. So I don't know if your contract is going to be negotiated, renegotiated, but I feel like there's something with your husband, Wendy. Alright. I hope we don't have a Vince and Tamar moment where, like Vince, your husband messes something up in your contract and, it's no longer the Wendy Williams Show. I don't know, something like that. So just, I don't know. And I go back to how the cards came out here again, right? And how this woman's just not paying attention to what's going on behind her. So, all right, Wendy, let's see lastly what's going on. What's the future of the Wendy Williams TV show? Because, I have to be honest, I haven't been a watcher lately just because I've kind of been turned off by the drama with Wendy and the issues with addressing the drama, from Wendy herself. But, this is a big step for Wendy. So I just want to know. And also, she stopped doing after shows. The after show is what initially, really was one of my favorite things. But, I understand now. So, what's the future of the Wendy Williams TV show? I wonder what the after show would be like with another, performer or another host. Like, what would the after show would have been like with Nick Cannon or Jerry O'Connell or Sherry Shepherd? I remember being at the gym one day and Sherry was hosting. I was like, oh, wow, okay. They got a lot going on at Wendy. So let's see what is the future of the Wendy Williams TV show. Imagine if Joan Rivers was still here and she hosted. Oh my God, that would have been so funny. Her and Melissa. That would have been so fun, though. Alright, what's the future of the Wendy Williams TV show? We miss you, Joan. What's the future of the Wendy Williams TV show? What do y'all think Wendy's going to do with that brooch that Melissa gave her? I hope Wendy keeps it. Y'all. Alright, what's the future of the Wendy Williams TV show? King of Coins here in the past, there's always a male energy overseeing this TV show. There's definitely negotiations about what does the future look like for the Wendy Williams show. Can she continue to keep up this performance? I feel like if they are looking at a replacement, I feel like it may be a male figure. All right. I get the female figure here, which I see as her mom for some reason. But I don't know if this is necessarily her mom in this spread. But I always see that as her mom. I feel like there's something about Wendy feels mistreated by the show in some way. It's kind of like, I've done all this for you, and I've made all this money, and, this show is nothing without me kind of energy I'm getting. I don't know if that's the best way to go about the situation, though, Wendy, because I feel like they've kind of shown you, hey, the show can kind of go on without you. All right? So I think there's definitely something where Wendy is kind of having to walk on eggshells when it comes to behind the scenes with the show. But she still is the show. I mean, it just is what it is, But there's negotiations. There's definitely negotiations here. Like Wendy herself is in negotiations as we speak. If not now, soon. All right, for sure. But I feel like as we speak. I don't know. I feel like Wendy's gonna have less of and I see the woman pouring out the water here. I feel like there's something about the Wendy Williams Show where Wendy's gonna have less of a role, less of a commitment in some way, shape, or form. So I don't know if like during certain segments, like we, see someone else, hosting, like, the Ask Wendy segment or something like that. I don't know. There's something about less commitment from her when it comes to the show. But I think she's always going to want a stake in the show in some way, shape, or form, especially when it comes for the money, right, to the money. So I think her and whoever, is the owner of the show, finances the show, are going to come to some sort of agreement where she stays on but they're going to keep a tight watch on her. And if she shows any sign of relapsing, of, going back to, just, a weird state of being, I feel like they're going to immediately ship her back to, and I don't mean to say it like that, but send her back to, nope, take a few weeks off, we don't have time for this, I, for some reason, do feel like she may have another moment of some sort, whether it's a breakdown or what. I feel like, I don't know, it's like something... Remember I was saying, things start to rip at the seams? I feel like there's a lot going on behind her that she is either not paying attention to, can't keep up with, something like that. And it's like things start to leak out, I feel. And I feel like when things start to leak out, Wendy has a moment. Right? So, but I feel like you will always have a stake in some way, shape, or form in the show as long as the show is running, Wendy. But I think your reign as the sole host is coming to a close, but it may also be coming to a close from your own doing, from your own choice. Maybe it's like, I can't do this anymore moment. And you just kind of want to break. But I feel like the show will always include you in some way. But I just feel like, I don't know. It's gonna start to become. It's gonna start to not feel like its former self. I feel. All right. So all right. I wish the Wendy show the best. I wish Wendy the best. I just wanted to see what was going on. And I think the best thing I can take away from this is that I think Wendy is gonna get back to get her equilibrium back. Get back to her balanced self in some way, shape, or form. Even if that means maybe having less of a prominent role on the Wendy Williams Show, whatever that means, or making that less of a commitment for her in some way, shape, or form. So I don't know. Maybe she doesn't spend as much time in hair and makeup and she just starts coming out in her street wig. I don't know. But, for Wendy, I just wish the best. And, we love you. Sending you love and light and prayers. May God bless you and protect you. All right. Thank you guys for listening and watching. If you would like your own personal, private, confidential psychic tarot reading from me, check out my website, LamarrTownsendTarot.com. Once again, make sure you subscribe. Hit that bell next to the subscribe button as many times as you need to so you get a notification whenever I go live. Tell your family, friends about me, and I'll catch y'all later.